Open your wallet and take a good look at that plastic credit card. Have you ever thought about how much of your life would be paralyzed in a single second if the expiration date of that card is tomorrow, or if your bank suddenly blocks your card due to a systemic error? You cannot listen to music. You cannot watch that TV series you love so much in the evening. The design or office software with which you perform your profession at work is instantly locked, and your access to your family photos on the cloud is cut off. Even if you have a new generation car, you cannot even turn on your seat heater in the middle of winter. Why? Because you do not actually own any part of that life you think you own. You are the digital slaves of the modern age who rent their own lives in monthly installments from massive corporations. The World Economic Forum's chilling prophecy has finally, quietly come true. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. But how did we hand over our most fundamental right, property, with our own hands, and with a smile at that? Let's rewind time just 20 years, to the early 2000s. In those years, when you loved a music album, you would go and buy its CD, that plastic case, the booklet inside, and that disc now completely belonged to you. You could keep it for years if you wanted, lend it to a friend, or sell it second-hand. Are you going to install a software on your computer? You would buy its box, enter a license key, and that program would remain in your monopoly forever, until you threw the computer in the trash. Property was an unbreakable physical bond between you and the object. Ownership gave you a sense of absolute control. But then the system invented the most flawless and insidious business model history has ever seen: the subscription economy. Companies realized that selling you a product once and stepping aside was contrary to the nature of capitalism. Why should they sell you a movie for $15 and end the story? Instead, they could rent you the key to a massive library for $10 a month. Initially, this seemed like a tremendous opportunity, an unparalleled freedom to all of us. Thousands of songs, thousands of movies, hundreds of software were at our fingertips for just a small monthly fee. However, we realized too late that those small fees combined and turned into a massive avalanche, slowly dispossessing us. We are no longer the owners of objects. We are desperate tenants living in digital plazas built by massive technology companies who have to pay rent every month and are thrown out the door the moment they don't. The title of that famous article predicting the future, published by the World Economic Forum, WEF, in 2016, is one of the biggest topics of debate on the internet today. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. Many people interpreted this as a dark conspiracy theory, an evil plan by a secret world government. However, when you look at the truth from the outside with a cold eye, you see that there is no conspiracy theory, that this is simply the most profitable, most ruthless, and most flawless business model modern capitalism could achieve. Companies transition from producing products to producing services. This is called servitization in the literature. The goal now is not to sell you a product, but to sell you the right of access to that product. Everything from the smart television in your home to the phone in your pocket, from the razor you use to the capsule of the coffee you drink, has been tied to a subscription model. The illusion presented to you is this: why should you deal with the maintenance, repair, and obsolescence troubles that come with owning something? Just use it and leave the rest to us. But the poisonous dagger hidden behind this comfort is the complete destruction of your independence. Your dependence on the system is now permanent. That old world where you would be liberated once the purchasing process was over is dead. In the new world, the billing cycle never ends. If this nightmare had remained limited only to digital software or music platforms, it might have been somewhat tolerable. However, the system's greed knew no bounds, and the subscription model leapt into our physical world, into hardware. Remember the feeling of absurdity you felt when you heard that automotive giant BMW tied the seat heating feature in its vehicles to a monthly subscription of $18. Think about the situation. When you bought that car, You already paid the factory for the resistance inside that seat, the cables, and that hardware. The physical hardware is already sitting inside your car, in your property. However, the company places a completely software-based lock, paywall, preventing you from using your own property. If you don't pay that money like extortion every month, you cannot use the hardware inside the car you bought yourself. Likewise, Mercedes tied the right to use the full capacity of the engine for faster acceleration increase of its electric vehicles to a monthly fee. The most tragic and terrifying example of this situation is experienced in the agricultural sector, in John Deere tractors. Today, a farmer in America who buys a tractor for $500,000 cannot go to the industrial zone and have it repaired when the tractor breaks down, because the tractor's brain is locked via software, and only the company's authorized and astronomically expensive service can unlock it. Farmers have literally turned into hostages on their own fields, on top of the machines they bought with their own money. How can you claim to own that item when your right to repair is taken away from you? Ownership is now merely a temporary illusion graciously granted to you by corporations. So why don't we rebel? Why don't we take to the streets and oppose this dispossession operation? Because the system has hacked human psychology and the vulnerabilities of our brains with immense mastery. The subscription economy is built on an illusion called microtransactions. $5, $10, or $15 a month. Our brain does not perceive these small figures as a dangerous or staggering expense. We say, the price of a coffee, and move on. However, when you look at your credit card statement with an outside eye, from a macro perspective, you encounter a terrifying picture. Music, movies, games, cloud storage, gym, software licenses, news sites, special cargo memberships. There are dozens of invisible bills, large and small, that a modern person must pay every month just to sustain their life. This is the set it and forget it psychology. Companies rely on people's bureaucratic laziness during the subscription cancellation processes. Most people continue to pay for an application they haven't used for months, just because they are too lazy to cancel it or forget to. Those small leaks, combining throughout our lives, allow a massive fortune to be withdrawn from our pockets, without us even feeling it. In the past, robberies were committed with guns. Today, they are committed with auto-renewing credit card instructions, entirely with your consent. The history of humanity is nothing but a circle, and today, we have returned to that ruthless economic system of the Dark Middle Ages, namely feudalism. In feudalism, the system was very simple. The land belonged to the king or the feudal lord. The peasants, serfs, working on it had no property. The peasant would plow, harvest, and work the field, but had to give a large portion of the produce they obtained to the lord as rent or tax. If they did not pay the lord, or did not follow the rules, they were evicted from the land and condemned to starvation. Today, those massive castles have been replaced by billion-dollar tech giants in Silicon Valley. Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, these are the digital overlords, the feudal lords of the modern age, and you are modern digital serfs living on those digital lands, producing your own data but owning nothing. That storage space you rent on cloud systems is not your land. It is just a small room you rent on the massive servers of Amazon or Google. Your playlists on Spotify, your favorites on Netflix, your followers on Instagram, none of these belong to you. If they decide tomorrow morning that you violated the terms of service, or if they cannot withdraw that payment from your credit card, your digital asset is deleted with a single keystroke, and you are exiled from that castle, losing your entire past and digital identity without being able to claim any legal rights. The real danger of owning nothing is not just economic, it is also a cultural and philosophical annihilation. Remember that famous memory hole in George Orwell's novel 1984. Records in the past were burned and destroyed when they did not suit the system. When you physically buy a book and put it in your library, That book is now safe. No one can enter your home at midnight and change a word or a chapter in that book. However, when you rent books digitally, for example via Amazon Kindle, the system can update, censor, or completely delete the content of that book from your device at any time. As a matter of fact, Amazon had remotely deleted George Orwell's book 1984 from users' devices in the past due to copyright reasons, without asking them and without their knowledge. Can you see that flawless and bitter irony there? Physical property is an anchor you drop into history, culture, and your own memories. The rental economy, on the other hand, is a sterile illusion where everything floats in the air, everything is temporary, and no roots can be laid down. Yes, we no longer carry boxes of books, CDs, or DVDs when moving. Our homes are more spacious. The phone in our pocket accesses more data in seconds than all the libraries in the world. We own nothing, and we are seemingly very happy, but we are paying the price for this immense comfort with our independence, which is our most fundamental right. Owning requires responsibility. Ownership is bearing the burden of the object. We are tired of bearing that burden, and we have voluntarily handed over our keys to tech giants for the sake of comfort. But remember, who holds the key determines whether you are a homeowner or a tenant who can be thrown out the door at any moment. Everything has a story, and as long as we do not realize that those small monthly subscription fees we pay are actually installments on our own freedom, we will continue to be obedient slaves of this digital feudalism. Thank you for joining Wonderpath. Keep doubting. See you on the next journey.